Welcome back to From the Stash podcast. I'm your host, James Davis McAllister. And today we're just going to ramble about some music biz, shiz, stuff like that. Things that come to my mind here. I got to start getting in the rhythm of this. I really got to start getting back to this. First of all, I want to say thank you so damn much for all the people that did support me this year. In fact, out of the 2 years I've been doing this was hands down my best year, which I only did 6 episodes this year, but salute to you. Shout out to you. Everybody's listened, subscribed, my sponsors from, our beer brand to McAlpine Meadery to a Catholic Clothing at one point, to everybody who's ever sponsored me, Spotify, Folsom Audio, Amato Apparel, anybody who's, taking the time to sponsor, etc. I really do. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Mwah. Okay. So where have I been? What have I been doing? Well, I've been being my depressive, teenage angsty self. Long story short, my mother's got diagnosed with cancer 3 times in the past 18 months. She's my best friend, and it's hard to watch, it's hard to be, and so I'm trying to soak in because long story short here, 2 years ago in 2021, in June 10th and 11th, I was in Indiana on tour, the No Curfew tour with Flames of God, as a tour manager, etc. And my father passed away, and I didn't get to say bye, yada, yada. Long story short, I'm about to go on tour here again with Flames of God, my brother. Love you. Shout out. Through April, and we're going to be in 6 different states, etc. And then we're taking a month of May off, and in June, July, August, I'm doing a tour for a huge metal artist that I'm setting up right now that I can't name right just now because of contracts, but also Flames and I are going down south to do a 16-date tour in 8 to 10 to 12 states. Just depends here. We're still routing it. So with that said, I wanted to take this time. She loves football, and so do I, and we bond over that. So we've been really, really soaking in football. Well, I'll put it to you this way. I had a tour I just booked for my soulmate, Pharaoh Kai, and we were on that in the midst of that tour, and I wasn't able to make the last 2 dates of it, and I felt bad about it. I did, but at the same time, when it comes down to breaking it down, it is a business at the end of the day, and this is my fault. This is all my fault. I'm not blaming anybody, and I should have made it clear to my artists, things of that sort, especially to Pharaoh. But a long story short, man, I'm done losing money. We'll put it to you that way. I lost $1,000 over the prior 2 shows I had done by being robbed, somebody stealing my money, one, and then B, the artist not following through and bringing anybody at all to shows, etc. Me paying, having to pay for artists, stuff like that, the headliners, all that good shit that y'all don't give a fuck about. Well, I'm done with it, and there comes a point where I have to take myself more seriously and say, okay, enough's enough. Friend, brother, sister, lover, it don't matter. Business is business, and business is strictly financial. And it sucks, man, because I let Pharaoh down, and I don't care about nobody else, myself, anybody else involved with that whole entire tour. I really don't. No offense, but I don't. Pharaoh is it, and listen, I've already apologized to her, and I love her, stuff like that, and we're cool, But I want it to be publicly known I fucked up. And I'm sorry, Pharaoh. I really, truly am. That's all I can say. I'm not going to make excuses because there ain't none. It is what it is. I told you what happened. That's the story. And, that's what it is. But anyways, something that's been really bugging me lately is and it's me being emotional again, is I have helped thousands of artists, but, hundreds of them have in turn turned on me, quote unquote, or discarded me like a fucking, burnout cigarette that they couldn't hit anymore. So they're like, oh, grabbing the next cigarette out of the pack. Well, now I see, and the thing of it is, these artists see these other artists doing this to me, but yet then they go and work with each other. Then they end up inevitably doing it to themselves. I've been here 19 years. I've seen it. It happens. It's a vicious cycle. Snakes in the pit, shedding their skin, remnants of what I used to call my kin. Knives on my back, the first to chime in. And remember I said, and when you grace that stage, remember I said, I was wishing you the best while you wished I was dead. It's a poem of mine, but it's really been grinding my gears seeing it. I shouldn't let it bother me, but it does because, it's like I'll go do this venue or get this venue, popping, and then boom, they're right behind me. And that's the whole point though. I love it. Trailblazer Quavo setting up scene, helping the scene out, etc. But there comes a point where it's respect. I'll tell you this way. Okay, one artist that really, really tried to put my name on blast at one point in time, not that long ago, about a year ago, in fact, almost a year ago exactly. No names. Anyways, I'm starting to establish a venue where the booker, essentially the music director there, and this artist has the audacity. I'd made a post. They try to message the venue page. Well, who do they fucking think runs that? Listen, dude, I'm the one that's doing this. Like, how the hell are you going to message the page looking for a show? Because you knew damn well you thought that somebody else was running the quote unquote. No, that's me, man. You know, and it's hilarious because I tell people this: don't burn a bridge you may have to cross in the future. I don't care how you feel about somebody or whatever. You don't ever burn a professional bridge. I don't give a fuck what happens. Yeah, man, it's mind numbing, but it's also been this revelation to me, like saying, hey, okay, yep, it's it. You know, clip your wings, you're gone, you're out of here. And it's finally been affirmation for me to get out of here. You know, I got a 12-date, six state tour, you know, here. And I'm finally, you know, I'm done. I'm done worrying about it. It's me now. I'm focused on me. I got to get me right. I got to get my money right. I got to get my mind right. I got to get more organized. I have to get more serious about this. I run an LLC. Well, then I need to fucking act like it. And it's that simple. There's one thing I've learned, and it's accountability. And it's taking accountability for your actions and stop blaming people. You know, because you are in control of your actions. You're in control of what happens. No one else. Nobody fucking else. I don't care what hand's been dealt to you. I don't care what your parents were like. I don't care what your friend. I don't give a fuck about none of that, because at the end of the day, you ultimately decide how your fate will be. And when you leave that in other people's hands, that's when you fucked up. Because at the end of the day, you got to remember one goddamn thing. And this is the truth. The hard, honest truth. You only got yourself. And that's it. So after you play that next show or you do that next thing with a big group of people, 100,000, whatever, you remember when you lay your head down at night, that at the end of the night, the only thing that fucking matters is you. Okay? Because at that end of the night, you're the only one that's got you. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody shows, no matter what. Brother, I don't care. Family, it doesn't matter. In this industry, entertainment in general, especially music, there are no friends. There are no family. There are no lovers. There are no cliques. There are no groups. There are no gangs. There are no bands. It's a business. It's not a fucking popularity race. This isn't Glee Club. This isn't high school choir. This is real fucking life, folks. And I'm going to tell you this right now. And anyone listening to this that wants to make music a quote unquote career, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you mean that with all your sincerity, you really need to start to lose that love for it, because I'm going to tell you this. Anytime you fall in love with something you're doing, and especially if it is for a living, you no longer, once that quote unquote fall in love happens, you no longer have control of that. You no longer have any business being in that business. And you can look and raise your eyebrows as much as you want. It's the damn truth. Because when you're infatuated and you love something, you treat it differently than you do when you treat something that doesn't rely on love, okay? It doesn't rely on emotions, because at the end of the day, business is business and it's strictly financial. Therefore, it relies on numbers, okay? Men lie, women lie, dogs, everything lies, but numbers don't. And that's just a fact, man. And what I'm getting at is, and this is where I'm finally getting in my life, fuck emotions, fuck how I feel about everything and anything when it comes to music. If it's not about money, I ain't got the time. I don't care. Emotions outside of it. And that's just what it is. And I'm the most emotional guy you'll ever meet. But this is just me being truthfully honest, because I get my heart broke constantly. I'm your quote unquote proverbial mama's boy, right? And I tell you this from 16 years old when I started my music career to 35 now. Man, I wish I'd had somebody tell me this shit. Like, dude, listen, this isn't something I do for fun. This isn't something I get joy out of, right? I did when I was touring as a vocalist, things that sort. But when it becomes your job, back to the point, when it becomes your job, it's no longer something you treat leisurely as a novelty. It then becomes your quote unquote 9 to 5, and you can ask any goddamn professional musician, producer, whatever. They'll damn near say what I'm saying verbatim because this is what it is, man. You treat things so much. When you wake up in the morning and you go to make music now and it's not your quote unquote career, you enjoy it. You know, you get a thrill and everything. When you have a fucking timeline, let's say you got to get, I'm just going to give you a quick example. Okay. For instance, okay, back in the day, there's a label, I won't say the name. You could sign, there was deals of like, okay, you could do 10 years or 5 albums, whichever came first, et cetera, et cetera. Well, that means there's timetables, timelines. What's an artist's worst nightmare? An artist in any type of art, an artist's worst nightmare is timelines. Okay, being pressured to put out your art or whatever in a certain time frame. Art is subjective. Art does not have a timeline. Okay, so remember that too. Your music or what? It's no longer an art, all right? It is now a business. Okay, which is totally fucking business is an art form in and of itself, but it is not art. There are creative, things that go into it, but when at the end of the day, it's a structured type of thing. Whereas art, there's structure to it. However, it is it's from you, right? It's from what your passion, what you want, blah blah blah. Well, when it becomes a living, it's not what you want no more. Okay, it's what the masses want. It's what everybody wants. So you can keep making that next check. A lot of people wonder why their favorite bands end up going from, this heavy metal to like a butt rock radio band, or why their favorite rapper went from gangster rap to fucking radio auto-tune rap. Well, there's a reason for it, man. You either Darwinism, you either bend or you break. You have to adapt or die. And one thing I've learned, man, and I'm going to cut this off here soon because it's almost 15 minutes. I don't want to ramble on too long. I'm going to keep these short and intense. One thing I've realized, man, is you just, you really got to look at that perspective. You really got to take that in. So you need to decide when you make music, well, do I want to do this leisurely or do I want to do this for a living? Because they're completely different things. Okay. And I'll say this. You can't learn the quote unquote industry or buy your industry or educate your industry. You have to fucking put your time in, because what this industry is all about, and I'm gonna leave on this note. I'm gonna go back to last time. I'm just gonna leave on this. When you're in this industry, and you can ask anyone, it's not what you know. It's not the education it's none of that. It's who you know. It's the connections you make. It's the networking. That's number one, first and foremost. And the only fucking thing really, honestly, truthfully, that matters at the end of the day is your connections. Okay. So good luck to you all out there. Much love. I wish you the best. I'm going to keep this, a little series. It's going to be, I don't know what I'm going to call you. I was thinking about what Twist My Stash or, something like that. I don't know. But this is James Davis McAllister. I'm your host from Stash Podcast. I fucked that up, didn't I? It's been a minute. Appreciate all y'all. Hey, if you want to support the podcast, you can now buy 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, or $9.99 a month. Click the link below or click the support podcast. Shout out to all my sponsors again: our beer brand, Folsom Audio, Spotify Music, McAlpine Meadery. Love y'all.